Okay, hold on. So a lobster starts as a plankton?
Sure, yeah, they start as
No way.
yeah, they start as something that would look nothing like it. Shame I don't have any pictures to show you, but they're like a little weird crustacean, very tiny. A lot of them have very large spines that come off their heads. There's some of them that they would look nothing like a crab or a lobster. You'd have no idea. They're very distinctive when you see them, but then they go through to this stage where the megalopa, where they start to look more like like a lobster or a crab. And then when they get past that stage, they settle to the bottom, and then they're a lobster or a crab.
Do you know how long that process takes?
Um, I don't think it's very long. I think it's in the order of months. It's not very long, but they're tiny. We see them in the plankton as these megalopa stage. So you could tell something was a crab. So it's got its little pincers. It's got a little tiny tail. But you're talking, 2 millimeters. It's very, very small. And then it would settle down, and then it would start to develop from there.
I thought that like smaller lobsters, I thought that lobsters would be like the size of crawfish. Like I had
Yeah.
no idea that it would go from this microscopic thing into a
Mm.
full-fledged lobster.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely tiny. I think it takes a long time, doesn't it, for lobsters to grow? It'll take a long, long time. But yeah, they all start their life as these tiny little eggs, and then yeah, floating around in the plankton, and eventually settle down. Yeah, it's very strange when you see some of them.
It
We
is.
actually did a game because we do a lot of outreach where it was match the juvenile stage with the adult stage, and for sort of crabs and lobsters and starfish and sea urchins, they just don't look anything. It doesn't look anything like it. It's guesswork for everybody unless you know.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to, Google that one
Yeah, yeah.
after this podcast. What about other creatures? So I know a bit about plankton because I examine creatures under the microscope all the time out of pleasure. There are other crustaceans that pretty much almost remain microscopic, like copepods, or
Sure.
we like to call them cyclops.
Yeah.
And so, are they relatives of lobsters and crabs?
Yeah, they're all crustaceans still. Yeah, so copepods is a good example to sort of talk about because they're one of the most dominant organisms in the sea, actually. And for us, we'll go on probably to chat more about the CPR survey. We record, I don't know, 800, 900 different taxa, and most of the work is focused just on the copepods, and probably pretty much just on two copepods. That's all people are interested in because they play such a critical role in the marine ecosystem.